Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy. I musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom, to jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces. Witamy wszystkich na 309 warsztatach poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Dzisiaj mamy niedzielę, 10 listopad 2019 rok i tematem jest dalszy ciąg tłumaczenia pytań i odpowiedzi z dnia 31 października, którego gośćmi byli Mehran Tavakoli Keshe i Karolina de Rose Keshe. Oraz tłumaczenie 300 warsztatu poszukiwaczy wiedzy na język polski i to jest czas od 23 minut do godziny 50 minut. Tak więc zapraszam na pierwszy warsztat. I
think we have realized the whole potential of it. we will see it maybe in 5 or 10 years. These small packages of information at a higher speed will have effect on most probably mobile phones. If we use the mobile phones, we see a large increase in brain cancers due to mobile phone. And we got to monitor how much more in these rapid small packages, high energy will affect the brain. There's a school of thoughts that it will be more severe than before, than the normal present 4Gs or 3Gs.
Okay. I'm just going to translate this, just finishing taking notes. Okej, więc tutaj dr Keshe na pytanie o to, co sądzi o wprowadzanej obecnie technologii sieci 5G, adresuje w taki sposób, że problem, który widzimy z 5G, że nie zdajemy sobie sprawy z pełnego potencjału tej technologii i to myślę, że tu też chodzi przede wszystkim też o ten negatywny wpływ tej technologii, gdzie będziemy w stanie zaobserwować efekty tego długoterminowe dopiero za 5-10 lat. No wiadomo, jak ze wszystkim, jeśli mamy na coś ekspozycję, no to rzadko się dzieje, że te efekty są widziane już następnego dnia. Zazwyczaj jest to proces długofalowy, który ekspozycja na tego rodzaju częstotliwości czy pakiety energetyczne, zresztą tutaj dr Keshe wchodzi głębiej, mówi, że jest to bardzo dużo małych pakietów informacji, które przekazywane są w bardzo dużej szybkości i to będzie miało też wpływ oczywiście na to, jak będzie rozwijała się cała dziedzina, też urządzenia, telefony komórkowe. I już widzimy oczywiście z wprowadzeniem sieci komórkowych, z wprowadzeniem tego przełomu technologicznego, gdzie mieliśmy oprócz telefonów stacjonarnych przeszliśmy na komórkowe jakieś 20-30 lat temu i widzimy, że w tym okresie zwiększyła się częstotliwość, ilość występowania takich chorób jak nowotwory mózgu. I to nie jest przypadek i mówi się, gdzieś w kuluarach mówi się o tym, że efekty działania 5G będą jeszcze gorsze niż to, co mieliśmy właśnie z technologią 2, 3 czy 4G, którą mamy obecnie. Także tutaj jest w pewien sposób też wskazanie na to, jak ta technologia działa, że to są małe pakiety z dużych prędkościach, ale tak jak dr Keshe mówił, jeśli żeby naprawdę zbadać i skwantyfikować to, jaki ma wpływ, jaki ma efekt, no to jest melodia przyszłości, gdzie zobaczymy, jak ciało człowieka rzeczywiście odpowiada na te fale, na to promieniowanie. Okay, I'll go back to skimming through the chat questions to see if we missed any. Okay, I don't see any, but I'm gonna ask it openly to see if I missed any, just to be sure we haven't missed any. Jeśli ktoś ma jakieś pytanie, którego jeszcze nie przeczytałem, tutaj jest dużo wiadomości na czacie, oczywiście tłumaczę w tym samym czasie, więc ciężko mi się na wszystkim skupić, więc jeśli ktoś ma jakieś pytanie, które się jeszcze nie pojawiło, to proszę zadać je ponownie, nawet skopiować, wkleić ponownie do czata. Okay, I see we have one question from Hubert. I think I can already anticipate your answer to this one, but I'm going to ask it anyway. He's asking if you heard about Anastasia or Vladimir Megre, whoever these people are.
No.
Okay. Hubert, odpowiedź brzmi nie.
Przemku, ja mogę zadać to pytanie jeszcze jedno?
Oczywiście. Okay, we have another question from Jarek, who was the first one to ask question. He's coming back at the end with this question now. Okay, Jarku, proszę.
Ja mam taki przypadek, mam 10-letniego syna i on ma czasami taką fazę śmiechu, półgodzinnego śmiechu i się śmieje bez powodu i i że tak powiem potem mija i jest ok, normalnie, ale czasami jest w drugą stronę, czyli pół godziny może nic nie odpowiadać i się tak jakby zamyka i czasami otwiera buzię i nie chce nic mówić. To są dwie takie fazy, z jednej skrajności w drugą skrajność i to się często dosyć powtarza i chciałbym zrozumieć mniej więcej, co się dzieje w interakcji duszy fizyczności, a duszy ludzkiej. No. Być może to jest coś połączone z emocjami i trudno mi jest to rozgryźć, ale jeszcze nie żadnej wody plazmowej ze względu na to, że z żoną jeszcze nie skonsultowałem się w tym temacie ze względu na to, że ona powiedziała, żeby na razie nie robić eksperymentów, jak chcesz, to rób na sobie na razie.
Okej, dobra, to zadamy to pytanie, zobaczymy, gdzie nas zaprowadzi. Okay, so Jarek is asking a question about his 10-year-old son who has these periods of laugh. He can go and start laughing for half an hour without a reason. He just laughs for 30 minutes and then it's all gone and it goes back to normal. And then sometimes he has these periods which goes in the opposite direction. So for half an hour, he sort of closes down. He's not really receptive to anything. He's just getting a bit sad. And for half an hour, he can even be opening his mouth, but he's not saying anything. So he's going from one extreme of laugh to the other extreme of the other sort of flavor of that emotion. And the question is, how to understand this? Is it somehow linked to the emotions, or is it somehow linked to the interaction between the soul of the man and the soul of the physicality? What's happening under the hood? And side information is also that the child has never drunk any plasma water.
These conditions with the children has a psychological root, and you have to understand why. And somewhere in the cycle of the life, the child has realized he gets something from it. And you have to go back to see where he started, the way he started. And what is the child condition tries to tell you. Children, as I always say, they're adults in a small container, but they're extremely clever, that they're manipulative in emotion of themselves. They can manipulate their own emotion because through it they get what they need. And a lot of parents cannot understand this. As adults, we don't understand this thing.
I had my microphone muted. Okay, so Jarku, odpowiedź na twoje pytanie jest taka, że te warunki z dziećmi mają podłoże psychologiczne. Musisz zrozumieć dlaczego i gdzie w cyklu życia twojego dziecka zdało sobie ono sprawę, znaczy kiedy ty zdałeś sobie sprawę, w którym momencie w cyklu jego życia, zaraz jeszcze raz, musisz zrozumieć dlaczego i gdzie w cyklu życia samo dziecko zdało sobie sprawę, że coś z tego ma, coś z tego dostaje, właśnie z tego, że w taki sposób się wyraża. Zobacz gdzie, kiedy i jak to się zaczęło. Co dziecko próbuje ci powiedzieć. Dzieci są dorosłymi, tak jak dr Keshe często mówi, dzieci są dorosłymi, tylko że w mniejszym opakowaniu i są bardzo mądre i bardzo potrafią manipulować sobą i właśnie poprzez emocje potrafią manipulować wszystkim, co jest dookoła i manipulują poprzez te emocje w taki sposób, aby dostać to, czego potrzebują. I często dorośli tego nie rozumieją, więc warto się cofnąć, zobaczyć, gdzie to ma podłoże, w jakiej sytuacji to zaistniało, co dziecko próbuje właśnie poprzez takie zachowania uzyskać. Okay.
No, dziękuję bardzo. Jeszcze jedno można? Ostatnie już.
No oczywiście, jeszcze limitu nie dostaliśmy żadnego, więc pytam.
To jest to pytanie właśnie o tą kulę, co zawsze chciałem się zapytać o to. Jak spałem, ty Przemek już to słyszałeś, jak spałem, budząc się w pokoju miałem taką kulę. Ona była dosyć ciemna i była połączona z moją głową, gdzie czułem oddziaływanie pola, ale w pewnym momencie jakby urwało mi się gdzieś z 5-6 sekund tego i powtórzył się czas, jakbym obudził się ponownie, już tej kuli nie było. Ale czułem, jakby ten transfer z tej kuli przechodził bezpośrednio do mojej głowy. Ta kula miała gdzieś pół metra średnicy. No i odczuwałem jakby transfer jakiś poprzez tą kulę.
Okej, już tylko zapisuję. Okay, so the follow-up question is about a untangible ball. So Jarek was saying that when he slept in his room, he had a feeling, or he could actually sense that there was a ball of about the size of half a meter in diameter. It was dark and it was connected to his head, and he could feel the interaction of the fields. And then he lost a couple of seconds, and this time was somehow replayed, and he could feel that this ball was no longer there. And basically, he's saying that he could feel a transfer, a connection between this ball and himself, the ball that was present in this room. So he's just asking if there's any comments or pointers that you could say in regards to this.
No, not at all. When we are not there, you don't know what it is.
Mhm. No tutaj, Jarku, ciężko się doktorowi Keshe do tego odnieść, bo mówi, że no jeśli nas tam nie ma, jeśli go tam nie ma, jeśli nas tam nie ma, no to ciężko się odnieść do tego, co tak naprawdę się dzieje, co to może być, co może znaczyć, jak zrozumieć tę interakcję, więc przykro mi, ale nie ma tutaj odpowiedzi na to.
Mimo wszystko dziękuję bardzo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Keshe from Jarek. I'm just going to ask if there are any final questions. Czy są jeszcze jakieś pytania, które chcielibyśmy tutaj zadać, bo będziemy już powoli kończyć. Także ostatnie pytania, zapraszam.
Witam wszystkich. Ja chciałbym osobiście podziękować doktorowi Keshe, że będziemy mogli używać loga KF SSI Keshe Foundation.
Super, dziękuję Jarku. Mirku, okay, so we had Mirek who was asking the question about that building he's preparing for educational purposes, if he can carry the KF SSI logo and be part of KF SSI, and he just wanted to thank you in person that this will happen. It's his intention to keep on educating and helping people, and he's very grateful for the answer you have given him today. So thank you again.
Thank you very much for teaching. As long as you share it unconditionally the way we do, then you'll find out people will take it with their heart and their soul.
I'll translate this. Więc tutaj, Mirku, dr Keshe też dziękuję przede wszystkim za nauczanie i za szerzenie wiedzy. I jak długo będziemy uczyć bezwarunkowo, tak jak robi to fundacja, to ludzie będą z tego korzystać i tego rodzaju współpracy i rozwijanie dalej wiedzy i technologii oczywiście są drogą do przodu. Także dzięki.
No, powiedz jeszcze, Przemek, że zapraszamy do Polski, żeby nas odwiedził kiedyś razem.
Okay, and Jarek, who's usually our host for most of the public teaching, he's opening an invitation to you, Mr. Keshe, to visit us one day in Poland. We'll organize a conference, and we would be very grateful to have you, to host you in our country.
Thank you very much. If you organize a conference, we will come. as part of the national conferences we do, we agreed to do one in Romania, if you do two with Poland. Polish community always been very active, and we will support anything that we having time, we'll support it, we can come.
Okay, thank you. I'll translate this. Więc tutaj dr Keshe mówi, że jak najbardziej istnieje teraz taka możliwość, zwłaszcza jeśli chodzi o te konferencje międzynarodowe, które są organizowane. Jedna była w Wiedniu, za 1,5 tygodnia mamy Brazylię, potem mamy Maroko, mamy Meksyk. Te konferencje są po całym świecie i tam była też informacja na warsztatach, że jeśli dany kraj, dana społeczność chce zorganizować taką konferencję, to oczywiście możemy to zrobić, tylko potrzebna jest przede wszystkim właśnie ta chęć i ręce do organizacji, które będą w stanie to wszystko zorganizować, zaklepać. No wiadomo, przy tym jest dużo roboty, zresztą 2 czy 3 lata temu organizowaliśmy konferencję, więc jeśli będzie taka intencja, będą chętni ludzie, którzy włożą w to swój czas i wysiłek, żeby pomóc to zorganizować, to jak najbardziej jest to możliwe jako właśnie część tych międzynarodowych konferencji i wtedy na tę konferencję będą oczywiście zapraszani oficjele, nie tylko z kraju, w którym ta konferencja jest, ale też z ambasad wszystkich krajów, które mają swoje ambasady w tym kraju czy w tym mieście, więc tak samo społeczność rumuńska już wyszła z taką propozycją, żeby zorganizować konferencję właśnie w Rumunii. Dr Keshe mówi, że nic nie stoi na przeszkodzie, żeby właśnie w tej części Europy, żeby jedna była zorganizowana w Polsce, druga była zorganizowana w Rumunii, więc wszystko jest w naszych rękach i jesteśmy w stanie to zrobić razem wspólnie z fundacją.
No, ja też dziękuję i Karolinie, i Keszemu, także bądźmy w pokoju wszyscy.
Yep, and I got a final question that I had in my mind for some time. So, when you talk about, for example, the Universal Body Enhancement Unit, and you are talking about the fact that the system has a soul, we know from previous teachings that even a stone has a soul. So any object has a soul by itself. So how would you relate this when you were, saying that the system has a soul? How would you relate it to the fact that every object has a soul?
It's like every cell has a soul, but totality, body of the man has a soul of the totality of the souls. But with this system, we have deliberately created a condition that the person entering it will understand is a living entity. We have created a condition that it's a living entity. It's not an object. It's not a system. It's like you walking inside your soul. This is the beauty of this new technology, this new system.
Okay, thank you. I'll translate my question and the answer. Tutaj zadawałem doktorowi Keszemu pytanie. Z nauk wiemy, że nawet kamień posiada duszę, więc o co chodzi, kiedy dr Keshe mówi o tym, że te systemy, uniwersalne jednostki wzmacniające ciało, które mamy ostatnio prezentowane, o co chodzi, kiedy mówi, że one mają duszę, no, bo przecież wszystko ma duszę. I tutaj dr Keshe tłumaczył, że to jest tak jak z tym, że każda komórka naszego ciała ma duszę, ale kolektywnie tworzą naszą duszę totalności, duszę człowieka. I z tymi systemami został stworzony właśnie taki warunek, że osoba, która wchodzi do środka, rozumie, że ten system jest żyjącą jednostką. Warunek, który jest stworzony, sprawia, że jest to żywa istota, a nie martwy system, który nie ma tych wszystkich aspektów emocji, bicia serca. Zresztą omawialiśmy te wszystkie aspekty, więc taka jest tutaj odpowiedź. Okay, I think this is it in terms of the questions we had in various places, Facebook, some from the past and some coming up in the chat today. So thank you very much for this very pleasant surprise and coming in to enlighten us with more knowledge and addressing all the questions we had today. So thank you very much again, and we always invite you to take part in our teaching. And just to explain, we were sort of organizing and trying to get questions ready and get people to choose which date would be best. And even today I had a thought that tomorrow when I speak to Carolina, I'm gonna ask again what date would be best for you and for Carolina to join as well. And somehow, magically, coincidence as it always is, I think about it today, and here you are together with Carolina coming in. So thank you very much to both of you for...
Thank you very much indeed. Thanks for having us. We try now that I'm back from China, try to spend more time with different communities to strengthen the knowledge and work of what we call different languages. That we get to know more the communities, that we can effectively participate and support them more. Thank you very much for all your hard work, and hopefully we'll see better what we call outstanding positions with all the communities around the world, the way it is taking shape. Thank you very much, and thank you for having us.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you very much.
Have a good night, and thank you, Carolina. Because I know quite often you are the facilitator for many things, so thank you for your presence as well.
Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Thank you, good night. Dobrze, także tutaj mieliśmy... Ja chciałem jeszcze osobiście podziękować doktorowi Keszemu za to, że zaszczycił nas naszą obecnością dzisiaj, Karolinie także, bo tak jak tutaj siebie w pewien sposób tłumaczyłem, że już 2-3 tygodnie temu rzuciliśmy takie hasło, że jest taka możliwość, żeby doktor Keshe z Karoliną przychodzili na nasze wykłady, przyszli i zaadresowali nasze pytania. I w zasadzie, jak to ma zwyczaj w Plaźmie, dzisiaj sobie o tym myślałem, była też... Ktoś z poszukiwaczy wiedzy zadał mi pytanie, co z tą sesją, kiedy w końcu będzie i tak dalej. I pomyślałem sobie dzisiaj, że jutro, jak będę rozmawiał z Karoliną, to spytam się jej, jaka data będzie im pasować. Może jakoś byśmy to zrobili w tą niedzielę, czy w przyszłym tygodniu. No i oczywiście przypadkowo stało się tak, że obojga dzisiaj mieliśmy i Karolinę, i doktora Keszego, i mieliśmy wspaniałą sesję poszukiwania wiedzy i odpowiadania na pytania, po czym dr Keshe też podziękował bardzo gorąco za to, że go ugościliśmy i powiedział też, że od czasu, kiedy wrócił z Chin, teraz ma więcej czasu i starają się coraz więcej czasu spędzać właśnie odwiedzając, komunikując się, biorąc udział w różnych społecznościach językowych, żeby coraz bliżej poznawać siebie nawzajem, poznawać swoje też potrzeby i to, co możemy razem zrobić. Więc tutaj jeszcze raz podziękowania w obie strony ślemy od nas i w drugą stronę od doktora Keszego. Okej. I jeszcze Karolina mówi, żeby dać adres, to wtedy fundacja zapewni baner fundacji, gdzie to chyba myślę do ciebie, Mirku, żeby właśnie rozwiesić tam, gdzie prowadzone są nauczania czy różnego rodzaju warsztaty. Thank you, Carolina. We will provide an address and we'll see if we can tighten up the collaboration, establish more of a collaboration between all of us here. And again, thank you very much for coming in and for your presence and for all your offering.
You're welcome. There are just a few tips with the questions which were addressed to Mr. Keshe. That is, please advise people not to wear the phones on the body. Always go on speakerphone. Keep the phones away from your face or body. That's very important, especially even when you see little youngsters on the street and you see them wearing their mobile phones in their back pockets. Just ask them a simple question. Doesn't matter how they react. They might be offended, they might be not so pleasant in their response to you, but it will give them a space to think in their mind, what are we doing? Tell them, do you want to have cancer? You wearing your phone in your back pocket on top of your hip? Explain it to them. That's the only way we're going to make awareness, because the industrials are not informing our children. That's number one. Number two, for your home and your environment and your phones and your computers and your network system and your internet, hang the nano-coated copper wire infinity loops on the windows around the house, not on your body, please, but on the back of your phone, the back of your computer, the front of your computer, on your network system, in the attic and in the basement. And in your car, they absorb the field strengths which you do not need. That was a whole pot.
Brilliant, thank you very much. Więc tutaj jeszcze Karolina dodała na koniec dwie takie rzeczy. Chciała się odnieść do tych wszystkich pytań, które były tutaj zadawane. Po pierwsze, żeby nie nosić telefonów komórkowych na ciele, nie nosić ich w kieszeniach z przodu, z tyłu, czy przy sercu, czy gdziekolwiek, żeby zawsze starać się rozmawiać właśnie w trybie głośno mówiącym, czy poprzez słuchawki, żeby trzymać przede wszystkim ten telefon z dala od twarzy, z dala od głowy, z dala od ciała, żeby uczulać na to też młode osoby, zwracać im uwagę, dać im w pewien sposób do myślenia, spytać się ich, czy chcą, żeby to urządzenie, żeby ten telefon komórkowy spowodowało na przykład nowotwór, no bo widzimy, jakie są rezultaty właśnie noszenia telefonów komórkowych. Mówiliśmy o tych nowotworach mózgu i innych rzeczach, więc nastolatkowie często noszący gdzieś w kieszeniach z przodu, z tyłu, gdzieś przy biodrze te telefony cały czas. Myślę, że to obserwujemy coraz więcej, żebyśmy my jako osoby dorosłe, bardziej świadome, żebyśmy zwracali uwagę. Oczywiście możemy się spotkać z różnymi reakcjami, ale chociażby zasianie tego ziarenka informacji w głowie takiego młodego człowieka może spowodować, że troszkę o tym pomyśli i będzie bardziej ostrożny. A jeśli chodzi o odpowiedź na to też pytanie o ochronę przed tym szkodliwym promieniowaniem, przed tym, co dookoła nas się unosi, można powiedzieć, to, co jest wszechobecne, na co nie mamy wpływu, to jeśli chodzi o dom, o środowisko, o telefony komórkowe, tutaj rada jest dość prosta, żeby używać nanopowlekanych, miedzianych ósemek, czyli takich symboli nieskończoności, żeby te ósemki nanopowleczone, żeby je wieszać na oknach, żeby je wieszać wokół domu, można sobie przykleić z tyłu telefonu. Sam mogę powiedzieć, że mam takie dwie ósemki przyklejone z tyłu telefonu pod pokrowcem i wszędzie, w piwnicy, w samochodzie, wszędzie, gdzie tylko chcemy, możemy takie ósemki umieszczać. Okna są też ważnym, ciekawym miejscem, gdzie można je umieścić. I jedna przestroga, myślę, że to też sięga do nauczeń sprzed roku, dwóch, gdzie to było mówione, żeby nie nosić nanopowlekanej miedzi na ciele, żeby bezpośrednio nie dotykała do ciała. Ja tutaj mam swoje własne przemyślenia, może się nimi podzielę. Po pierwsze, czemu ósemka? Po to, żeby ta energia, która jest pochłaniana, żeby ona nie była kierunkowo uwalniana, na przykład w kierunku naszego ciała, czy telefonu, czy czegokolwiek innego, więc takie jest tutaj moje zrozumienie tej ósemki. Jeśli chodzi o noszenie tego na ciele, jeśli nosimy to na ciele, ten materiał przylega bezpośrednio do nas. Jeśli przylega bezpośrednio do nas, to wchodzimy z nim w interakcję, więc to, co sam wyłapuje poprzez swoją strukturę, zresztą parę wykładów temu dr Keshe mówił o tym, że warstwa nano jest pewnego rodzaju kondensatorem, po angielsku capacitor, czyli ona trzyma to, co filtruje, to, co się więzi, to, co się utrzymuje w tych lukach przestrzennych między pojedynczymi elementami w tej powłoce nano, więc w momencie, kiedy trzymamy to przy naszym ciele, bezpośrednio przylega do naszego ciała, no to jesteśmy częścią, mamy to przewodnictwo, można powiedzieć, to co jest gromadzone, filtrowane, magazynowane w tych ósemkach, wtedy my jesteśmy w stanie to przechwytywać, więc to jest efekt odwrotny niż do tego, jaki mamy zamierzony, czyli wyłapywaniu, filtrowaniu tych pól, których nie chcemy, żeby dochodziły do naszego ciała. Okay, that's the end of this translation. I added a little bit myself to it to say that, you know, if you wear something that's nano-coated on your body, that if it's touching your body, then we have the adverse effect. We don't have the effect of isolating and capturing this field by the capacitor, which is the nano layer, but instead we are actually touching one to the other, so you get the flow of that energy which we are trying to isolate ourselves from.
You deplete your own body from energy.
Yes. Tutaj jeszcze Karolina dodała, że w ten sposób też ściągamy energię z naszego organizmu, więc to kolejny powód, dlaczego nie należy nosić nanomiedzi na organizmie. Yes, carry on, Karolina.
Also, when you have misfit from your maggraph systems, your copper windings from the time you wanted to make your maggraph systems, or simply little leftovers of copper wire, you just make a circle, you twist them together, and then you just fold them over once, like they become like an 8. And then you put the small string and you just hang them around your windows, around your house, in your rooms. You can even hang them in the garden, so they can absorb the field strength outside as well. But make sure that the nano coating doesn't touch the trees. So you make sure that there is a string, that the nano-coated layer is away from the tree. Otherwise, it will kill the branch because the field strength is way too high.
Okej, więc tutaj Karolina jeszcze dodała do tego, bo ja przetłumaczyłem to, co dodałem od siebie do jej wypowiedzi i ona tutaj jeszcze dopełniła tą odpowiedź, mówiąc o tym, że też w momencie, kiedy ta warstwa nano dotyka naszego organizmu, wtedy sami siebie drenujemy z energii, no bo przecież ta warstwa jest w bardzo łatwy sposób wychwytuje te wszystkie siły pól, więc w pewien sposób pozbawiamy swojego własnego organizmu tej energii, czego nie chcemy robić. I jeśli mamy jakieś pozostałości z cewek, od magrawów, czy z produkcji gansów, gdzieś mamy jakieś kawałki nanomiedzi, które nam się walają, które nie były użyteczne do tego, czego chcieliśmy, może nam się źle cewki zwinęły, czy cokolwiek, to wtedy możemy zamknąć taki drucik, zrobić z niego koło, zgiąć go w pół, w ten sposób tworzymy właśnie taki kształt ósemki i wtedy możemy przywiązać kawałek sznureczka do niego i porozwieszać takie ósemki. Przy pomocy tego sznureczka możemy przyczepić je do okna, porozwieszać w domu, w ogrodzie, wszędzie gdzie chcemy, tylko jeśli wieszamy to na przykład w ogrodzie, to musimy się upewnić, że sama ta warstwa nano nie dotyka żadnej rośliny, żadnego drzewa, bo będzie miało to taki wpływ, jaki omawialiśmy w przypadku właśnie organizmu człowieka. Okay.
That was it from my part.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good evening, everybody, and see you next time.
Thank you, Carolina. See you again. Bye-bye. Our doors are always open, and we will try to schedule something maybe more on a regular basis, if that's okay.
No problem. I will try to bump in faster.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good evening.
Także tutaj Karolina jeszcze raz podziękowała za to, że mogła dzisiaj tutaj z nami być i dzielić się wiedzą. Ja wyraziłem też swoje nadzieje na to, że będziemy mogli takie sesje robić bardziej regularnie, umawiać się regularnie na takie spotkania i łączyć te mosty między naszą społecznością a właśnie Karoliną i doktorem Keshe, czyli osobami, źródłem, z którego ta wiedza do nas wypływa. To była sesja. Troszkę nam się zeszło długo, ale myślę, że
to było tłumaczenie tego warsztatu z gośćmi. Tak więc teraz zaczynamy kolejny wykład. Tak więc zapraszam serdecznie.
When we first began. Maybe you could, but I wasn't so sure.
Yes.
Are you
morning,
there?
Good day to you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good day to you. As I said, good morning, good day to you. As usual, wherever and whenever you listen to these knowledge seekers' teachings. Yes, I remember the first time and the time after. He said, can you just come and do one talk about the plasma? And I said, yes. And I said, can we do it next week? And then it became the next week. And then it's actually more than 310, 320 teachings, but knowledge seekers is about 300. We learned a lot. We taught a lot. We shared a lot. Some people have benefited by it immensely. And we try to understand more. We became from scientific group to understanding more about the structure of the universe. The structure of the things we never understood, and somehow in the middle, a lot of people took us as a religious count because now they found out what was promised is not there. The soul and the Holy Spirit and the soul of the man being somewhere else now has found a box and a place, and it's called the brain of the man. And some people thought we become what we call a new cult, and they tried to stop worshipping. They couldn't build any temples, and they couldn't find any rabbis to worship. We all became to be equal, and we start understanding sharing knowledge does not bring what we call superiority to no one. And in so many ways, 300 hours of teaching, 300 hours of sharing knowledge. Average, let's say 3-4 hours is nearly over 1,000 hours of teaching. Overall Foundation has something like 2,000 hours of teaching, private teaching personally by me. And no messengers of Creator has ever left so much knowledge equally at the same time with any of the time of the man or anyone in the universe. We share knowledge as messengers to elevate the man and the soul of the man to a new height. And we understand from now on, we go into the direction to understand more. As I said, about 300 teaching, we stop teaching what it is, but we start teaching more on the dimension of universal understanding, even though some of it will go back on physical understanding that the man can relate. My work, as I was telling Caroline this morning, if we do another 3,000 sessions, we still haven't learned a drop about the knowledge of universe. And as you've seen, every time we come, we teach in small short bursts or more long sessions, knowledge of the universe. I never write any scripts. What comes is the knowledge of the Creator. And it comes as a natural as we do. So, in so many ways, those who've been around me when I teach, have seen, the knowledge is shared with man from the knowledge of the Creator. And it does not matter who says what says. We do our job. There is a plan in what we do, and in so many ways, all the wrongs you see, there is a reason for it. All the rights you see, there is a reason for it. But in overall, as of these sessions and past couple sessions, we have brought and we bring the totality to a new dimension. What the video we saw is a new technology, never seen. In the coming days, we will show more astonishing technologies man has never seen. Then we dictate the conditions and terms of use. This is very, very simple. You will understand and make energy free of shackles of the material, and make food free of shackles of this planet. I'll make man to understand more about himself, that he gets confident that he is and he can be, in a way, part of the totality. It's him who lets himself down to be. I have no problem with whatever has been showered on us, good and bad, and at the same time, we are very reserved. We can do things that no one can ever imagine can be done. We promised the bringing of this peace, end of the wars. That was the biggest promise of all the messages of the past, and I have fulfilled it. There shall be no more war. We've seen every attempt was made by every nation, powerful and meager, to start, but one after another is shut down. There shall be no more war on this planet. That's what we decided. We are the creators, and we decide on what we created to oblige. Mankind will move into a new dimension of understanding from now on. You will understand more as we start opening the knowledge of the universe. We are committed to our work. It does not matter what people say. You got to understand, I wear 3 different hats. One hat as a messenger, one hat as a scientist, and one hat as a man. And it's not very easy to work within the 3 and understanding of the totality. And in so many ways, we got to understand we speak on 3 languages, and it's for those who listen to understand which one is which. I don't switch up and I say this is this part and this is that part. As you've seen, we get even involved in the business of the man bringing knowledge of God into the market of American states, in the stock market. We see what they've done to it, and you will see what will happen to it. We don't interfere. We can meddle in so many ways with what you see in the American stock market. Is not our job. We have decided to be there as a point of us being able to break the embargo on the foundation and work of us. And it has worked. We see in the background. Big corporations have bought shares. Some corporations have bought shares. Some insurance companies have bought shares. And now they drop. They're asking why. They are questioning what's the validity of the stupid 12,000 fraud which Belgium has put on. Now, the state of Belgium is under question. It's exactly what I wanted. For me to fight was too difficult, but now the insurance companies bought 1 million shares, 10 million shares, the institutes are buying shares. They question, they have to answer to their shareholders. And this is what they do for us. You will see change in the course, not part of our unknowing. I knew exactly what is going to be the position. And now we see people are not made to be so quiet and do the job quietly. People will take action. And in so many ways, the more we put, the more actions we'll see. As you will understand, the expansion of the knowledge is beyond understanding of the man. As long as I'm here, I try to teach. I've taken 2 sections of my life, part of the foundation out. My private life has become totally private, and my, what we call public life is what you see. The messengers, as a messenger of God, we share what we like. I am the promised one. There is no doubt about it. The amount of knowledge I shared is unmatchable. We wait till it's completed, and then you will understand. The prophecy of the past is fulfilled in every shape and form. And in so many ways, I have no problem in teaching more, because there are a number of souls who have elevated to understand the next step, and these, they become the candles of the future of mankind Christ. We play the games of the man because that's how man likes to play to confirm he exists. We see deceptions, we see fraud, we see everything else. We see stealing from the foundation, we see so many put their lives on the line for the foundation. We've seen many people have risked it. We see many people have tried it to risk it. But it all goes to where we want. The goal is what we said, and it'll be there. As you've seen in the video of the system is changing man's life. This system will change humanity's life. As we said, the first unit, let's go to Germany. We seen the first unit being going to United Kingdom and Thailand. Orders comes through for another country. We see, and what we done, agreements. The first KF Spaceship Health Center will open in the state of Arizona, United States, with 10 units. The contract has been signed and the systems will be delivered. This center will run under Keshe Foundation. KF Spaceship is what we call Arizona, and is not owned by KF Global. It's a private venture of the Keshe Foundation in collaboration with American partners. This center will open around January and will be very much a space lab of the what we call the time to come, 22nd century. Last night we were with the state officials, people who advise, and they know, and that what we are planning to do and what is being set up. This center will be the center point of the presentation of the Keshe Foundation space system prior to opening of the manufacturing and a space center in Arizona. The Arizona KF spaceship 10 units will be matched with the 10 units in Tehran. As we said, we bring the two sides together. The Iran and Arizona will open the same day simultaneously. I'll be in Tehran, and our one will be most probably in Arizona for the opening. And we'll see the Keshe Foundation at the same time. We try to open the same structure in China around about the same time with the same unit. These are operational commercial systems, not research, as you'll see. Therefore, as we said, we keep the promise. The first, more or less, 50 units will be spread by January across the planet at the same time that we keep our ethos on our work. As you were aware, we showed the technology in Vienna in the first conference for the first time. In our meeting and the conference with the presence of the state ministers and ambassadors in Brazil next week, we will show an astonishing new technology. We decide how it will be presented. This technology will be a breakthrough in the world of science if we decide to show it according to the position we take. As I said, every what we call conference will bring a new revelation. This is our job. will pressurize the world governments to bend to what we need. Do not forget, presidents get cancer too. Presidents get dementia and Alzheimer's. We've seen, and we've seen presidents with Parkinson. This fits them perfectly. You got to understand one thing. We are in to change, and you will understand more. We are in to change the totality. We are in to change with you the totality. The number of the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers expanding dramatically. We will respond to the position which happened in Italy that it forced us to close our factory. You will hear our position in respect to Italy, and it will be done with the Italian government. We have taken and consulted with the Italian central government, and we will take the factory into the position of cleaning up all the waste in Italian nation. What happened in Italy is the decision of the central government to decide how to behave and how to handle it. We are a foreign investor. I'm not Italian citizen. So as a foreign investment by the Keshe Foundation, Italian government has to respond to our investments. That's their responsibility to allow us to invest more in cleaning the waters of Italy. We will release documentation through KF Global directly in what is involved in the Italian situation in Italian waters. And land is with us and the Italian government to sort out. We leave all these matters as it is highly technical, and the project will be financed by the tune of 300 million by the Keshe Foundation, and will go on the banner of our what we call KF Austria. It's got to be understood that we will take the next step in our presentation in the Kingdom of Morocco. In our presentation in Morocco, we'll show another revolutionary concept and technology. And again, as we did with the last one, we offer it to the world companies to take steps to become partners. From now on, most of our work will keyed up to the governments. That's why we've gone through the structure of the international conferences. This situation will be very dynamic. I'm not really concerned in respect to what is happening around the smaller parts of the what we call bunch of thieves around the foundation. They're so meager that we can be, and they'll be handled by their own nationals. It's not our job. We are here to bring together. We are not here to divide. We are here to make mankind to walk away from these stupid behaviors of the past. As I said, it's one of the main commandments out of all the ones which is there is, thou shalt not steal. You cannot steal from the foundation which gave you the bread. I'll take a step to make sure the situation in Ghana will never take place. The situation in Ghana will never take place. We sit across tables with governments. They have two choices: meager thefts or withdrawal of investments, which is cash on the table. We all know which way governments go. But we still leave rooms for those who done wrong to correct it. It's very, very clear. I will stop anyone who takes any wrong steps about the foundation, thinking they can walk away with theft of intellectual rights and technologies. You got a long way coming. If I stopped the wars of the planet, You are no war, your hands on the wall. We will release more data and more knowledge and information regarding Ghana through the Ghanaian government press release. This has to be taught, that we make an example of people, that people remember. You've seen in the past how we had in past 300 years teaching, Red Circle, Bernard fired, did everything he could, lied to the court and the rest of it. My response to the state of Belgium is still the same. Our negotiation is one way only, and that is all the damages to the Keshe Foundation, millions of the books downloaded by deliberate act of what we call their agent, has to be repaid back to the foundation, belongs to the foundation. All the damages which is done now, we can quantify it, has to be paid back to the foundation because it's spent on the humanity. We will accept only one sequences and consequences. Imprisonment of Red Circle. As we did with Alan Sterling, we will get what we want. The same goes with the police officer in Belgium. Imprisonment, and has to be according to what we want. The same has been agreed with Benjamin's case. You got to understand, till we don't make example by their own conduct, for their own deed, then there'll be no different than the past. We don't touch, they don't, and they will do. It's got to be understood that the knowledge has to be free. Respect for the knowledge has to stay free, and in so many ways, understanding the knowledge to be shared has to be free, but respected for what we call sharing of the knowledge that keeps the society in order. In the coming days and the coming weeks, I will release the first technologies that will start changing the course of humanity in a very rapid way. We are not looking at things that you might think possible. We deliver you a small unit, as small as smoke detectors, that you can place it around the house. You don't need to eat. You don't need to warm up. This will be shown as part of the structure at or before Tehran meeting. We will release enormous amount of technologies. We paralyze the money transaction situation for those who live by money, because this has been one of the biggest problems on this planet. Greed for the money to bring power, that the greed of the power dictates who is more. You want us to show you the power? No problem. You choose how many heads of states you want to walk around the world like zombies. I deliver. You take a vote, I deliver a zombie president to you. This is so easy. Then you understand, we make decisions. It's very simple to understand. The technology is now a practical way away from the past knowledge, and on its own will take and make its own decision. In a very short time, many of you will see what we call thought control, emotion control systems. The first ones are under test at the moment. In so many ways, we decide everything. Don't need computers anymore. These are part of the teachings which will come in the next 300 teachings. Man has to understand and gradually progress to that point. I deliver in the time to come the total interaction and the first face-to-face delivery of the man, of visually, publicly, with the universal community. It has to be understood this needs a lot of peace. It needs to understand that it's the time to meet. In next 300 teaching, as I said, we open the universal community step by step. Most probably we start with small, what you call creatures that man can get position of, to see, to understand, to be befriended, even though their lives more intellectual than man. And then we'll go to the steps of the full interface within next 300 teaching. Then more knowledge will be taught according to man's understanding. I have one message for the world governments. Collaborate and make it easier. Play games. You'll find out there's no games to play. We go back into what we said and we keep to our ethos. Ethos of the Keshe Foundation will not change. The situation which has risen for us has all have a benefit. There is always a good side to everything, not a bad side. But it's for us to show the good side, because the bad side will be delivered by themselves to themselves. As I said before, I've taken a decision to separate totally my private life from the Keshe Foundation work. And that will come more and more apparent, because I need the space and time to live a normal life. I've put enough, over 40, 50 years in the knowledge. Now it's very simple. I deliver the knowledge, it's for you to complete it. I open doors, you need to achieve it. What do you achieve is according to the intelligence of totality of mankind, not one or two. We have a good news with us, which has been one of my main concerns for the past few weeks. Arman is back with us after a very large operation, and it's nice to have you back, Arman. It's been a big headache for me for weeks, and in past 2 weeks now he's back, he's with us, and thank you for being there. On the other hand, you will see, as we said, with the patients in China and other patients around the world, we will set, as we call, live testimonials as we open different centers around the world, that the doctors and the patients can see the development. This is important, that we all understand how the technology is applied and the progress is understood by all of us. What we call Keshe Spaceship Arizona, which is in the hand of total control of the Keshe Foundation, 51% shareholding and capital invested by the American side, is one of the most center points of the technology. It will show the advancement. We put a lot of effort into it to make it the jewel in the crown of American operation. We have no problem with this, but at the same time, the American government has to understand we are in as one nation. We are not in as different nations. Investment in US is investment by all the Keshe Foundation as a whole, not belonging or be part of one nation. In the coming meetings in Brazil and in other countries, we make this very clear to the nations. We are not here to play the old game. We are here to play a new game, a fair, a just, and secondly, eliminating all the coins and all the damages which mankind has done to himself. As I said before, in Italy, with the Italian government, we are there to change a massive problem for the Italian nation. Many of you do not know, but with what we have in our possession, we can literally bring the economy of the Italy into freeze. This is how powerful and how much we have access to information and knowledge, which we can change. It's very easy. The Italian government has no choice but to collaborate in changing the life of not only Italians, but the rest of the world. We will release the documents through the Keshe Foundation Global, through our press media, and it's for the governments and people to make a decision. And it's important for them, not for us. In so many ways, nations who do not collaborate, we have no problem. We'll make them to collaborate to bring peace. We'll make them to collaborate by knowledge and friendship to understand the game has changed. There is no more wars. We have to find a solution that no citizen is hurt. In part of the teaching today, I will start opening a new dimensions which you all know, but you have to understand it. Knowing is different than understanding. As I always said to my children, when you comprehend, you do not need to remember. This is the key to the teachings from now on. You will be amazed how much all of it you know, and you'll be amazed how much of it you thought you didn't know, but you know. We'll go into the structure of the soul. We'll go into the structure of the physical body of the man, and then we go into the structure of the universal community. How the societies are established in the universe. How the structure of understanding of the laws set up by different, what we call citizens of this universe for collaboration and cooperation, is very much different than what mankind has agreed between nations of this planet. The principle and the work is understanding of the peaceful condition. War does not exist. It's something which is not in the vocabulary of the universal community. And now you understand why we pressurize so much to get rid of it, because we don't want it to enter into the vocabulary. We are aware of its damages. We are aware of its shortcomings. We are aware of what can do to us in the open society. In the coming past few weeks and months, more and more reports of interface or interaction with the universal community has been done. Many of you see more things which you have never seen. There is a reason for it. We are trying to familiarize. These are the shake hands. These are hellos. These are there to tell you we are here. But at the same time, you have to understand we are here to the person who can confirm and bring you to us at the same time. My job is not easy, trying to bring a bunch of animal behavior to be normal and trying to convince the normal people that these people have changed. It's what we call give and take. There is a lot of opposition to my work on this planet. There is a lot who want to leave this planet to go back to his mother and forget about it. It's a short time left as compared to the life of the universe. But as we say, every soul worth saving. I hope and I know I will achieve it. But the problem is those men with what they call the black soul, which are in hand-on-hand operation. In going back into what is part of our work and teaching. I thank those corporations who are working in the background to help the foundation in different ways and opening up into what we call global work.
Excuse me, Mr. Keshe, could we get a microphone adjustment there? Thank you.
Yes, no problem. We see the more smaller man we work with, the bigger claims he makes with what he wants from the foundation. They want all of it. When we talk to the corporations, they want to give it all. So we see a lot of cons and pros in how to deal with individual groups or with collaboration and cooperation of big groups. This is part of the game of the man, and we play it as it suits the man. We talk to a guy from the kindergarten, the same language that he understands, and a guy who is a professor. In so many ways, we go back and we start teachings, mixing, and bringing a new dimension to the teachings that now we've been through understanding of the soul. As I said before, we open the structure of the soul. We open the structure of the creation in the universe. We open the total understanding of creating conditions. Mankind does not need to travel the span of the universe to understand the work of the universe. What I teach you will give you the understanding that you can bring the condition of the universe here on this planet. I have started working with a number of Iranian scientists to bring this position apart as part of the teaching. My work with the Iranian nation will stay sacrosanct. I am committed to the nation of Iran, and I am committed to establishment of peace in Iran through the present government of Iran, not by change. This is very clear. We respect every nation according to the election of the people and the government stated, the same as we do with America, the same as we do with any other country. We are here to serve the nation, not the government of the nation. And the same goes with everything else we do. It has to be understood we are committed to peace, and peace comes out of strength with knowledge and technology. And as we said, the status quo was kept for years because both sides had nuclear war weapons and they were afraid of using it on each other because they knew they both can wipe each other out. We don't work that way. We spread the knowledge so much that nobody even thinks to have a position and I'm stronger. It's just we are equal. My work is very well planned, even though in my book goes everywhere. It's just a matter of putting everything at the same time, teaching the kindergarten as much as teaching the guy in the 10th class and the guy who's professor. But they all come through the same channel, through the same process. In going back to what we started with the video, our present volunteer, as you've seen today, he's down to the last 2 tablets out of what he started. We are around about 89% clear of medicine. And we see a lot of developments. We will release more videos on him in the next couple of weeks. Then we'll show you the other patient, which is with epilepsy. He is by tomorrow or by today down by 35 tablets, more or less, out of 47. So we are left with around about 12 more tablets to come up within the next 2 weeks. So he'll be free of all medication. The beauty of it is that they start living a normal life, and the beauty of it is that mankind will start living a normal life. Knowing and having this technology does not mean man will live forever. His soul will, even his soul will come to the point of transferring his knowledge, transferring his what we call a strength to another souls, to the creation of the others. So for mankind, just becoming part of the Keshe Foundation does not give you a jail-free ticket card as a monopoly that you never die. We all change position. We all change strength, and it's how we greet it, how we accept it, how we celebrate life. The point of celebration counts. In so many ways, man has to learn. He just changes the dress of a home. Sometimes the address of the home of the soul has to change. You don't want to live in the same house for 1,000 years. So what you call death is just change of position close for the soul of the man. And the sooner man learns this, the easier it becomes for man to understand. He doesn't need to grab because the end will come. There is no end in reality, because even at this state of life, man is part of a chain process. It'll never started with him, and it shall never finish with him. In understanding this, we try to teach more. In understanding this, we try to get you to understand the facts about cycle of life, cycle of transfer of fields. That's all human life is. That's all life is in the universe. A process, a cycle of change of different strength. It's a voice coming out of your mouth. It's a thought in your brain which creates that voice. It's that voice which goes down the line, and is that voice which is again energy field itself in transfer and transformation, which is heard by another man, and he changes his life or does something because of your voice, what the energy he received. Then we understand life of the man is just a traveling energy pack. Nothing more, nothing less. There's no need to be proud of what we call the body of the man, because as we have seen, it's just a temporary clothes, temporary what we call shackle, or the soul of the man in the travel of its energies through the dimension of the life of the universe. And sometime sooner or later, mankind will come to understand this. But in fact, what does mean? How does your body structure work? How do you come to exist? What's the difference between the body of the man and a stone? Both are creatures of God. Both are created through the compact and impact of what we call different strength magnetic fields. But how come we can keep some dynamic, and how come we cannot keep some dynamic? How come when we put dimensions of the fluidity of the fields, we can create intelligence? How can mankind come to understand that with this knowledge, as you understand from now on, Everybody's in the same boat. In so many ways, in olden days and even now, many of us still go to a tailor and we buy a suit and we buy clothes, or we cut it ourselves and we decide this is how I'm going to look. This was the fitting, the outfit of the physicality of the man. Now with teaching and understanding the soul of the man and operation of the soul in respect to the fields of the universe, the field of the universe becomes the scissors, and the decision of the soul of the man becomes the cloth. You decide in which way this cloth is going to manifest itself. Are you going out with a summer suit, or are you going with a mini skirt? Are you wearing a fur coat, or are you becoming an Englishman? Fur coats and no knickers. So you have to decide how from now on you dress up the soul of the man. Up to now you have dressed the physicality of the man with different shades and clothes. But now you can, with the new knowledge, to understand how you dress up this soul according to the position and the presence of. On this planet, you might need many different characteristics, but if you understood much easier than the birds did, as we did with the bird we shown some time ago in the teaching, you can change your body the way you want, even on this planet. It's just you need to decide. We have tribes who already do this. In the technology development, which I even discussed with the Iranian scientists yesterday, those who listen and understand the step of the knowledge, you can decide how you manifest yourself at a position of manifestation in the dimension of the environment of the new systems. As one of the things that we will teach, and these systems, new systems will come in. You go to Walmart, you go to a clothes shop and you buy new clothes and you come out. If you understand the work of the soul of the man with the new universal systems, you can go in and manifest yourself in the dimension, the shape and understanding of the satisfaction of the soul of the man, and manifest yourself. Do not forget, this is what mankind will do in the span of universe. Now you understand how we are opening the knowledge to you, how you have to see and understand what is about to come. The release of the universal, what we call system, is not just what you thought. It's more to it. As one of the Chinese guys very recently has sent a message, is a carrot and me sitting on a donkey and the donkey running for the carrot. There is no donkey, there is no carrot, and there is no me. You have to understand, it's you who decides the carrot, what you want to be. So with this new universal unit, is not just to get rid of Parkinson or get you soul elevated. The next steps of the use of these is the system matches to your soul. The system is set to match your wishes. Then you understand there is no need for the frock to wear. If you do what the universal creatures do, in so many ways, they're covering the sexual organs, that this is the biggest problem for the man, then you find out you have nothing to hide. There is no reason to hide. Only who you decide to see will see what we call the naked body. Wearing of the clothes and hiding it will be over. Very soon, with the systems we will show, you will understand this. In the structure in Arizona, the way we have discussed, will be that you can manifest and manufacture not only what you want, any material you want. Part of the structure of the Arizona Keshe spaceship system is not just for environmental, is to show how to make water, is to show how to make material, is to show how to clothe yourself according to your wishes. This is a very bad news for those Excellent guys, if you know what I'm talking about. This is needed to be done, that when we take you into space, you don't need to run all the way back to Marks and Spencer and Walmart to buy something to cover 2 holes and 2 bumps. You will understand the love which you show will manifest your position. I want only such a person to see me in the position of my emotion on certain behaviors. This is not a dream anymore. This is the reality which slowly with these systems we create a condition to elevate the soul of the man to learn about this process in his soul. Now you understand what the use of these systems are. Why I introduced the universal system at this point. Any person tries to copy this will make sure they will have a big problem in their hand through their soul. Because this system has to be done the way it's set up by the Keshe Foundation, because we know how we are structuring it. Somebody's microphone is open in the background, Rick.
That's your friend.
Which one? Armin?
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. He's in hospital. He just knocked the thing off. Pull it up, Armin John. This man has survived a huge operation, and it's nice to have it back. It's understanding of the totality which counts, and understanding what these new systems are, step by step. Opening the dimensions. Step by step, we know what we are doing in the structure of the technology. You will see people will change. We will see people walking into these systems, realize that trust has to come from inside the soul of the man and not inside the emotion of the man. Then you will change. You will take new steps in life. You will understand, do I need to kill something else? Trying to destroy something else for me to have? I spent 2 years in China for my understanding of the man. As I said to Caroline the first time she asked me, I said, I have come here to understand mankind, that I can work through mankind. Through Chinese, I found a lot about cheating, betrayal, dishonesty, and many, many other things. I could not believe Chinese are that way. But it seems the more closer you get to Beijing, the bigger cheaters appear. But that's the state of Chinese. They have to understand. But it's the same with the Americans, and we've seen what happens with the Belgians. Understanding the totality is important for us, that we can operate within them. Trying to do something you don't understand is very difficult. We understood how this nation works because I lived amongst them. I tried to understand them. And one thing which appears very nicely, Chinese have a lot of ethos, but the ethos is lost as it gets closer to Beijing. And what is called the money has become the main center point. They cheat, they betray, and their operation is very simple. Steal as much as you can, and then keep a clean face. We are clean, there is nothing wrong with us, it's the rest of the world. In so many ways, I agree with President Trump in the behavior of some nations, but I understand he is a problem for his own nation too. But in so many ways, we have to understand with the totality. There is fault in all of us, in all the nations, but we understand more and more as we open the dimensions. It's the responsibility of the Chinese to change their own structure, using the new technology to bring that change condition, same as the Americans, the same as the Iranians and the rest. We are not all clean. We all have changed according to what we call greed has changed the man. Now we have to understand the totality. We close our eyes to what we call the mistakes of the past, but we open our eyes to understanding the mistakes has to bring us an advantage that we don't make the mistakes again. My work is not connected to no nations. My work is connected to change the soul of the humanity, is a collective soul of the mankind and all inhabitants of this planet. It's very simple. You will see in the coming time, with a new understanding of the structure of the soul, of the cell, or what we call dimension of physicality of the man, I will allow you to change the soul of every part of you. Don't forget, you have a soul of physicality, you have the soul of the man, and then the soul of the man and the soul of physicality in reality is a collection of the interaction of the soul of every cell. Is for man to understand his position. We call it, Darwin called it, the evolution. There is no evolution. The only evolution is the revolution of understanding the truth about the operation of the soul of the man and how it responds to its environment and its position. Up to now, you only understood, according to Darwin, or tried to understand the evolution of the physicality. Now, mankind has to understand there is an evolution of the soul of the man which he himself is responsible for. Nobody else. And then you transfer this evolution to manifestation of the physicality at the point of the decision making by the soul of the man. Soul of the man has emotions. Soul of the man has the same thing as the physicality has. Now you have to understand the emotion of the soul. Then you understand how we work and we change things accordingly. There cannot be any misunderstanding. The development of the new enhancement units is to enhance the soul of the man. We don't really mind you put the physicality inside. It's the education, the process of the education of the soul of the man to bring mankind to understand and start interacting and understanding, he has a decision making between the interaction of the soul of the physicality and the soul of himself. If you understand this, life becomes very easy for mankind. This is part of the work which in the coming time we'll do. Up to now, you start understanding, you bisected the body of the man, as did Da Vinci, to find out where is the heart and what it does. And more scientists try to find out how many, God knows, cells are in one part of the body and the rest. Now, with a new understanding, we open the structure of the soul of the man. Because if you understand where the soul in respect to physical manifestation in being able to observe or understand the feeling of the material needs arm, or needs to understand, who would like to have something, can pick something up. So you decide how long the arm is going to be, you decide how short the leg is going to be, or you decide, do I need a leg in this planet or not? But you have to understand, in any shape or form, through my soul, I can travel all dimensions of the creation. The delivery of the universal system, as I said, is piece by piece is getting unraveled. By the time we reach the delivery and showing of the systems in Tehran and in Arizona, it will be very simple. Mankind will be taught enough in the next 3 months to understand, when I go in the system, it's not the system which works. It's me who asks the system what to elevate me to. Then the physicality will follow. Then mankind will start getting educated. When you enter these systems, you'll be as naked as your soul. Many people will walk out of these systems with a lot of changes. Many of you, you'll find the true yourself in what you want to be. There is a very interesting point. Those who try to replicate these systems, you will know very soon. You go in and become in nothing, you go in this one, you can change to what you like. So you know who the crook is sitting in Italy. And in so many ways, we'll see how it works. If Chinese can cheat and replicate, because it's very simple. They think they know, but you know, we haven't given the golden key, is hidden within it. One day you'll ask me what is the key and how you know, I will explain to you. The process of understanding the technology is very simple. It's the knowledge of the universe. And if you want to work with the knowledge of universe, you have to let the dimension of physicality of manifestation to not to disappear, but to understand is a way of manifestation, confirmation of my existence. I challenge any world leader, as you've seen, Belgians have tried. It doesn't work. I challenge any world leader who's set up to create peace to see how far he will go and how far he will achieve it, as he has our blessing. The point of world leaders from now on will be challenged how they appeal and try to say their cause of peace. We've seen the first cheatings of it in the past couple of weeks. The Russian president with the Turkish president achieved peace, and in stopping everything while the Americans pulled out of the north of Syria to create a new war, and there was nothing. And there's a statement on the day of passing of what we call our friend Sandor, and then 2 days later Americans come and claim our team has been there, we achieved it, it's such a glorious thing. We know where the truth sits. False alarm, false claim, but the truth is nations who go for developing peace, leaders who go for developing condition of peace will be supported by us. Those world leaders who look for real, what we call the prizes of life, are those who commit themselves to the peace. And this is our wish, and you will see it will become more and more. The understanding of the new technology is that you will understand that it's your soul who changes the position of the soul of the others if the sincerity of the wish of the change and giving by your soul is in truth is the essence of your own peace. When you are at peace with yourself, you can do so with the others, that they can take more, that they reach your point. Plasmas of the higher strength always give to the lower. And there is nothing more than peace, stronger than peace, which means living amongst others with the equal shares and equality than anything else in the universe. Then you understand how we decide and how we change. In reality, when you enter these systems, what you will see that every cell of the man will shine, because each one is a star. Each one carries its own dynamic plasma. Then you will see how you want to reorganize these stars according to pleasing the soul of the man and not the physicality of the outside when you walk out. In this process, many of you will come to understand one thing. What was all this fighting for? What was all this suffering for? Why have mankind has created so much mayhem? And what is our responsibility from now on? What do we understand? Are we committed to peace on this planet, or are we committed to peace in the universe? And if you target for the latter, you'll find out the first one is no problem. Those of you who are members of the Universal Council have to elevate your understanding of the soul and the work of your soul to the next level high. You have to start establishing, understanding the soul of the work of the soul of universe. Not the mankind. You already carry that. The whole structure is stepped up. In so many ways, you have to understand nothing will stop us from what we have committed ourselves to. We show you so much knowledge, so much technology. We show you so much understanding of the universal work that it overwhelms you. You realize how feeble the mankind is. You remember some times ago, not very distant past, we used to go in chaos and make telephone calls. We used to go to telephone centers to send a telegram. Now, with the delivery of these universal systems, we give mankind those what are called telephone booths back. Not the red ones, the English ones, but every one of every nation. These systems are set up to be the line of communication with the universal community in the first step, till the man matures and he understands how fast he wants to take this revolution forward. As I said before, G9 is the communication line with the universal community. Mankind decides where he moves to different position in the elevation of G5, G6, G7, G8. Because you all like something to do with something that you can have a highest number to get there. 9 is your highest number, or you go back to nothingness. You got to understand how to utilize the new systems which we release. We will go into production of releasing tens of thousands a month across this planet from different places, because it will be needed by every nation. It will be needed by every man to create the first conditions. The understanding of the elevation of the soul of the man is very much to satisfy the hunger of physicality of the man. You have not satisfied the hunger of the soul, and you never understood the hunger of the soul of the man, that then it can manifest itself and show itself. As you know, I said many times, when Diana died and when John Paul, the Pope, died, I said very easily, even though with all the wrongdoings of Diana, she had a higher elevation point than the soul of John Paul. John Paul came in with 1 and left with minus billions. Because he knew, and he was part of the abuse system of children. And when you damage a soul from the inside, you have to stand for the responsibility of it. My message is very clear to the world religious leaders. Close shop. And let the soul of the man free. It's very simple. You are responsible for suffering of the souls, and enough is enough. Or I close it for you. As I ended that war, closing these little buildings is nothing. When you go into these systems, you go with a wish. Understand what this wish implies not only for your soul, but the soul of the others. When you enter these systems, which you will do in the coming weeks and months, understand you walk in naked. Does not matter what fare codes and how many Gucci watches and God knows you have on you. You're naked. In front of your own soul. And the beauty of it is, very soon, as we all reach the point of elevation of understanding of our souls, we all see the rainbow colors of our body, of emission of the fields of the soul of the man, and we say, oh my God, this is red. He's up to some nasty things in that part, or he's wishing something else and doing something else somewhere else. And we all try to stay as white as possible. Then you understand. The smallest stars will shine like a red light. I love to see how many of you would do cheat your own soul in the dimension of the physicality and its emotion. None of you can. As I said, if you remember some time ago, many people will not walk into the what you call the spaceships because their soul won't allow. You were waiting for the UFO. Sorry, it's called universal system. Made individually, customized according to your wish. Many of you who have fears, when you walk into these systems and walk out, you will not even remember what fear was, because by elevation of the soul of the man, there is no fear in the dimension of the physicality. You will understand more that when you enter the universal systems, there is one point and one point only. Peace, tranquility, and equality. Every man walking out of these systems walks out the same as the last man who walked in, walked out. We don't abolish the seat of kingship. The kings will abolish their own seat. Many of the world leaders will cry to the rest of their population, asking for forgiveness in what they've done. This is why we said we will not put any in Belgium, because you do not want to know, none of them will go in. None of the leaders of that nation walks in any shape or form in any of these systems, because the list is so long that it might ring and rises another uprising in balancing the books. As we seen last week, another 32 bodies was found in England. And where did it come from? Again, dark nation of Belgium. Slavery, human trafficking, child abuse is part of the life of this nation. So you understand how much work needs to be done. And I wonder if the leaders ever walk into any of these machines, or they try to confiscate everyone that they do not have to show. Let me explain something very simple. As I explained many times before, as the structure of the brain of the man has layers and layers, very much like an onion, so is the soul of the man. It's you in how you enter and how you understand the totality, that you don't peel the onion, but you live in the fields of the totality of it. Those souls who mature enough will find their way to the inner sanctum. Those who are arrogant stay in the dimension of physicality. The station of physicality is the station of ignorance and weakness. If the mankind understands this, why does mankind see suffering as a point of maturity? I will never understand. Why doesn't mankind see elevation of the soul as a point of positiveness to live a comfortable life, not through the suffering? But, as you know, I came here to understand that, and I had the best example of it in past 4 years in Africa and in China, and before in the land of the white man. You got to realize, with the new space technology, which we release more and more of, you will understand more about yourself. These technologies are not brought in to give you more comfort in the physical dimension. It is brought out for you to find the shortcuts, the proper ways that you can bypass million years of ignorance on this planet. In a way, as one of our knowledge seekers yesterday, one of the top scientists in Iran, says, "Mr. Keshe, can you show us the shortcut? We've been trying to understand it, but can you show us how to get there faster?" And I said, what happened? You have what we call half failed the exam. Now you're trying to find a shortcut to pass the exam. You have to go and find out yourself, but I should guide you how to do it. It's in a way, understand what you have not understood. Mankind has to understand the operation of his soul from now on, not operation of his physicality. I'm in love with peace because peace is part of what I was created out of. But amazing enough, I see the anger inside due to the behavior of man. Now I understand why I've got this ticking clock, that how mankind has evolved over centuries to this point. You have to understand part of the totality of the life of a man from now on is not his physical life anymore. The responsibility of the mankind is to understand the structure of his soul, how it operates, how it has to behave, how it lives amongst the others in the universe, and is not any more important what frog and what shape your body takes, is how you manifest the soul of the man at the point of manifestation is important. And you have to understand, go back to my teachings very earlier on. When you stand in front of the universal community, you are naked. Not in the dimension of clothes, but in the dimension of the feeling of the soul of the man. This is the beauty with the new knowledge. As I said many times, you're naked in front of me, but I'll let you do all the cheating you like.
Może skończymy trochę wcześniej, bo mamy już dosyć późno, a wystartowaliśmy z 10 minut później. Tak więc skończymy troszeczkę wcześniej dzisiaj, jak planowaliśmy. Nie wiem, jeśli są jakieś pytania lub ktoś chciałby się wypowiedzieć na ten temat, to zapraszam. Dawid napisał, że chciałby dalej, ale nie wiem jak inni. No dobrze, jak Hubert jeszcze dopisał, że chce też, to puścimy jeszcze trochę dalej.
Me not talking is out of my grace, is not out of my ignorance and stupidity. But always remember, I never forgive and I never forget. Because if I do, then you're encouraged to do more. But with me is I change your soul. I don't touch your physicality. Soon mankind will understand. Very soon. I have brought the machines to do it because we could not any other way with the man itself. Many of you will run to these systems to understand the elevation of your soul. And many of you run away from it because the truth is too harsh to understand and face. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. As usual, I'll remind the attendees they can put their virtual hands up and we can allow you to speak.
Can we have their soul hand up and see which one you know? Or you have not elevated that high yet?
Well, some of them we seem to feel their presence in the background, whether they put their hand up or not. And definitely we've had lots of coincidences of people saying other people's thoughts in the moment. We've got a couple of questions from Maria in the Q&A. It's you can probably read them there, Mr. Keshe, or do you want to deal with those?
Please. Would you like to read it?
Okay, I'll
I
give
don't
it
know any English. I just speak.
Okay, I'll give it a try here. She says, why are the reptilians living so much longer than the quote, quote, stupid in their own eyes mankind when they start wars again and again? So the good mankind is not starting the wars, but the earth is starting to be like hell since the reptilians left their own planet and came here to destroy the paradise Earth. So why they are the 25% and they're looking like human beings on this earth, but they can change like they are shapeshifters. Are they allowed to do all this since such a long time? Is that right? They change their ways on the home planet and want to be on the light side in love and peace. Can they go back to their planet? She has all these questions.
Very interesting dreams. We have developed a position of fear for encountering people who are more intelligent than us. And the more intelligent you become, the more peaceful you become. So whatever you call shapeshifters, the light people, we've seen them around the foundation. We've seen the reptilians, they call them. As you know, in the Rome conference, I asked, there is one of them amongst us, and this girl who stood up, it. I said, the one who is already announced who it is and is sitting down, you're the wrong one. You got to realize it cannot be the present, what we call the state of one only. As Giscard d'Estaing said, European community is a Christian club only. And now we see how Christian club is eating each other's up and tearing each other apart. We come to understand that as we have mixed in our societies, as we came from the same source, mankind will come to understand the amalgamation of the fields of the creation of the soul of the man comes from the same source. It's the openness of the understanding of the truth which makes separation between the man and what we call the beast. Many years ago, an Indian guy in London working as an accountant for a very big firm, automotive industry. And the management of the company decided to sell a subdivision. This Indian accountant was in this company for nearly 25 years. And there was a manager, English manager, blue eyes, blondish, and he was the boss. The Indian man, being a business-minded and accountant, goes to him and he says, let's buy the company, we know it's profitable. He says, I'm not interested, I'm going to retire very soon, I have a good retirement. I've got a couple of years to go. The Indian man buys the company. And that day comes to the office and he says to the boss, his friend, eating, traveling, holidaying, traveling for years, that I bought the company, now we can run it. He got up, he put hands on the table, he said, I never work for an Indian. You're not my boss, I'm resigning. Never spoke a word till both died. The knowledge of the man is the stupidity of color, of race. We see them fighting to get rid of the blacks, but we don't see the blacks fighting to get rid of the whites in Africa. Even though for all the wrong things they've done to them. So what we see is mankind has to sort out this animosity, racism, this I'm better than the others. First, clean his own house. Then you'll find out all the work of the universe. There is no difference as this planet. As I said, mankind, when it does mistakes and damages everything, blames the others. And all the damage on this planet is done by mankind. As one of the knowledge seekers once told me, this planet is a very hot real estate, that's why they come here. Darlings, this hot is so cold, this planet, that nobody wants to have a real estate. We just here temporarily to see that how we see the mankind to damage himself without us. You don't need much help. Human race is so bent backward to destroy itself, you don't need no one from outside to help you. And this is the pattern of the life, that when you cannot blame yourself for your own stupidity, you blame the others. As we have travelers from Italy to America to Africa, and Africans to the rest of the world, and the Chinese going everywhere, so is the universe. There is no closed door for no one. You've seen it. Refugees walk from China or from Tibet, months and months, walking the whole planet into Europe, and they arrive and they say, we want refugee. How did you get here? I walked for 6 months. in the universal community, we do the same. We travel the spans of the universe and we live amongst. Soon, man will be one of them. Are you a reptilian when you go to the Mars or Saturn or another place when you change your dimension? Or would you interfere? Or when you arrive, you see intelligence-wise you're so low that you don't want to introduce yourself that I'm so stupid, or you're so high that you say, if I do, I can change a lot of things. So mankind will do what the passengers of the universe have done on this planet for millions of years. We do not interfere. Mankind has no right to interfere when he goes out. The time of colonization is long died with the British Empire. When you understand this, you have respect and you don't listen to a bunch of rubbish people who have no idea what they're talking about. Is there something good chit chat? You lot don't need much. You're destroying yourself, yourselves. We just watch. You created all the war machines. You created the way to kill each other. You created poisons. You created everything. Who do you blame? The ones who put this question out, it shows how much they do not know about the facts of mankind. In so many ways, don't blame no one for your own shortcomings. And you have a lot of it. You have huge amount of it. And you have accumulated it through the soul and what you call RNA and the DNA of your forefathers. And you keep on adding it to your soul. Those who talk about these things, there's one thing. They are blaming their own mistakes on the others. And you will understand soon, thanks to those who've been watching this planet, those who call whatever, we are here now to change it for you. As you say, we received enough reports of the stupidity of the man. Now we have come to interfere. Enough is enough. And thank those, whatever name you put on them, that they will see as you go to the dimension of the soul, you will see them and you will know who they are. That thanks them for not interfering and for the man to reach to the point of maturity of his own stupidity. How come? You have tourists on this planet, but you don't want to accept the tourists of the universe. Are we walking into another trap? But don't forget, the tourists of the universe are very clever and they can see. You worked in the tourism of mankind with the physicality of the man and the dimension of a building. In the tourism of the universe, we work through the soul of the man. So next time when you raise such a question, understand how misguided you are in putting the question this way. And in so many ways, it would have been worse if we were not here.
Mamy koniec tłumaczenia na dzisiaj, tak więc zapraszam. Jeżeli ktoś chce zabrać głos, to zapraszam serdecznie. No dobrze, myślę, że skończymy na dzisiaj. To były 309 warsztaty poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim z dnia niedzieli 10 listopada 2019 roku. Tak więc dziękuję bardzo serdecznie, że dotrwaliście do końca i zapraszam na kolejne warsztaty. Już niedługo w czwartek i skończymy pewnie ten wykład. Chociaż nie, on jest długi, to nie wiem, może jednak jeszcze się nie wyrobimy, ale zobaczymy. Tak więc dobrej nocy i do usłyszenia. Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie, przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy. I musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto, co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom. To jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz, że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej, by być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.